Okay, so welcome back to UFOs Above Us. All right, today is August 8th, and we'll be looking at a video today that looks at several pictures. Some of these first four pictures actually, I captured as still images out of a video. So these are going to be frames from a video. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I've been seeing a lot of these, whatever they are, but with the dual light sources. And so we're just going to look at some today, as well as a few other things, but we're going to take some deep dives into them. So if you look at this first one, you know, it's not just two lights in the sky that we're looking at here. There's some kind of an object around those lights, and you can see it clearly here, I believe. At least I can. I don't know how this will turn out on YouTube, but there's some kind of a central body with these two lights. So you know, I don't know what else to say. If you look at the picture, pretty clear. I mean, this one was captured fairly good focus. I don't have any complaints about that at all. So let's keep going. We don't want this video to go too terribly long. We'll look at the next one in this series. And again, this one, if you look at it, you can see the central body here, but you can also see something sticking out from both sides on it. And then instead of the dual light sources, this one almost looks like a light bar to me. If you look at that white area, it looks like one bar of light to me. So, you know, just a little different look at this same object. And if you look really closely, you see some other faint things in this picture, but I think they're just, you know, photographic artifacts there. But this one pretty clearly is an object with a light source right there. And then some other things. I see two of them on this side, and I can just faintly see two on this side. So there's the second in our series. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, and as I expand this on out, same thing. This one is, you know, single light source. And the body part of it looks different in this one. Now to me, and I don't know what you see about this, but to me it almost looks like there's a series of circular objects. There's a circular object right there, and then there's another circular object right there, and it looks like there's a circular object right there, and right there, and then something right here, darker. So again, the unique feature of this one is that central strip light right there, that bar of light. So another interesting one. Let's go to number 4 here. All right, and these are all in a series, by the way. So I took these four all at the same time, and it's a video where you see this object moving across. Oh, I guess I should say that the video, the white part is actually the back of it. So it's going the opposite direction of the white in this, instead of normally being fixed or maybe even moving the other way. So this white area is actually opposite of the direction it travels. All right, so there's the fourth one. Now these next ones are from a different time period, and these are high resolution photographs, so we'll be able to zoom in further on these. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my editing here, and we'll be able to really zoom in quite a bit on these. So again, this one is pretty obvious, and you can see it's right there around the clouds, and I see them all the time around the clouds. But if you look carefully, you can see this one is definitely a dual light source. A really strange object. So take a look at that, and as I zoom on in, what do you suppose that is? So you can see these two circular light sources, but it's not just that. You can tell that each one of those is a tube. They look like they're connected by some kind of pipes or wires or something. You can see them especially right here. Do you see that right there? And something circular right there tying them together. And then you can see, I mean, you know, I know it's not, but it almost looks like a pair of eyeballs, doesn't it? Where you got these, you know, that could be a pupil and iris, and so just an odd thing, isn't it? So, you know, I don't know what it is, but it certainly caught my interest, especially when you zoom way in. So again, kind of scooting back out on it. You know, here it was in the sky, pretty small object in the clouds like they usually are. But because I can take these high resolution photographs now, especially with this new lens I have, boy, I can just zoom in and get crazy amounts of detail. So that's the next one. Let's go on to this next one here. I did an enhancement of that one, so I'll go ahead and show you that. And it's just boosting everything. I boosted the contrast, boosted the clarity, sharpened it, and it didn't make a huge change to it, but you can see all the things just a little more graphically. I think it did help a little bit on seeing the stuff connecting the two. See how you got some kind of framework connecting these two things together. So that was that one. Now let's go look at this one more here. Oops. Alright, so here's the original photograph, again in the clouds, and this was taken within a fraction of a second of each other. These dual light sources, when I see them in daytime hours, I have very little time to capture pictures of them. They usually are there for a second or two and gone. Occasionally they'll stay for several seconds, and then sometimes I can get video, but usually they're very short-lived and they're gone. So let's take a look at this one. It's interesting also, just as interesting as the other one. Again, they were only taken a fraction of a second apart. And you can see this, similar things, although there are some differences, and I'll just try to point out what I see as a difference. The first difference is the separation between the lights. There's a wider gap between these two lights. You don't see the pipes or the wires or whatever as clearly here. You see a little bit of something right there, but the gap is definitely wider. And when we go to let me go ahead and jump to the sharpened one. All right. And then when I just jump into the editing on this so I can zoom way in, I talked about how it almost looks like eyes. This one especially, doesn't it? Look at that. So if you look at that, it looks like even the shape looks kind of eye shaped there, doesn't it? So there would be an eye, almost like an eyelid right there with eyelashes, and an eyelid there, and then here's the eye, and then there's, instead of a pupil like we have, it looks like a slit pupil right there. Same with that one, just more faint, but the same effect. And then there's something right here, which I don't know what it is. See that right there? And then there's something right there. So, all right, so those are the main pictures that I wanted to share today, just to let y'all know that I'm seeing a lot of stuff still. For UFOs above us, this is Matt, and I want to encourage everybody, keep watching the skies. I truly, truly believe the answers that we're all looking for are up there. And if we work together as a group, I'm confident that just the people that their minds are open and are capturing these UFOs, we could create the disclosure ourselves if we would just work together and stop fighting each other. We're fighting each other for popularity. We're fighting each other for money. We're fighting each other for fame. And I think if we would just start having a much more spirit of cooperation, there's no telling how much disclosure we could get. So again, this is Matt, encouraging everybody, keep watching those guys.